In the Greek town of Rafina, members of the fascist group Golden Dawn march into a market used by immigrants to sell their wares. Golden Dawn checks for business permits, then destroys the stands of those who can't produce a document. One of the leaders of the raid, who is also a sitting parliament member, said they did it to honor the Virgin Mary. Greece's economic meltdown is causing society to unravel, and some are looking for scapegoats. Greece is one of the main entry points for illegal immigrants into the European Union, and a new report by Human Rights Watch says the number of attacks on foreigners in Greece is surging. The only thing worse than being in Greece during the economic crisis is being a refugee or an immigrant. The economic collapse has turned many Greeks against outsiders, especially from non-Western nations. We interviewed immigrants in Athens who hide in their apartment to keep from being attacked. They escaped from Afghanistan but now want to go home, saying coming to Greece is the biggest mistake they ever made.
We ran away from the Taliban, and now we're stuck in something worse than the Taliban. With the Taliban, we would be dead and it's over. Here, it's torture every day.
At Glyfada Christian Center near Athens, Arno Lankhar and his wife Sahar minister to immigrants.
The people you talk with, they have a fear which they didn't have before. They are hesitant to come out of their houses in certain areas because they know that suddenly somebody might come up and beat them up.
Golden Dawn's official support is now between 10 and 12%, but is probably higher. The fear is that the economic situation will get so bad that Greeks will choose a new radical way, the way of Golden Dawn.
I think there's a growing frustration, just that sense that the country's being lost, whether that's being lost to foreigners or it's being lost, to history.
At Glyfada Christian Center, pastors Brian Vandevetter and Gail Stathis minister in a society that is breaking down, and to church members who could be at risk to far-right violence.
Greeks are feeling less in control of their own lives, and I think anywhere that happens, you have a rise in these kinds of things.
We kept talking in the church that there's no crisis with God. We really must trust Him because He has promised us that we're not going to go to bed begging bread, that we will have what we need for the day.
Dangerous times could be ahead for these Christians and for a lot of Greeks if Golden Dawn ever rises to power. Greece is on the edge of a free fall. The national debt is now larger than the economy, which continues to shrink. 67,000 businesses will go bankrupt this year alone, and the unemployment rate has reached 24%.
I would say at least half of our men are out of work, and those that have kept work have had reduced pay or haven't been paid in several months.
Pastor Gail says she senses a spirit of chaos in Greece, but one that the Lord is using.
I think it's because there's so many forces and dynamics coming together at one time, and God really is sticking His finger in and kind of, pushing the bruise. Because it's been it's really been just a cultural identity to be a Christian here for hundreds of years.
And this church is in position to be a light to a nation in crisis, and where believers from many nations can show their love for one another and for the nation of Greece. Dale Hurd, CBN News, Athens.